Darling, I've been down. The last ones they walked out. I couldn't count on them to be there now. So I went and lost faith that I would be okay. Then you came around and showed me the right way. And ooh, never gotta wonder about you. 'Cause I know that you're gonna come through. Darling, you love me right. And no, never gotta worry, you'll go. With you, I am always at home. Darling, you love me right. Never gotta wonder, no. Never gotta worry, you gotta wonder, no. Never gotta wonder, no. Never gotta worry, you gotta wonder, no. Where did you come from? Bringing that good love. I never knew it was real till you showed up. 'Cause you always honest. You keep your promise. Tell me that I'm all you ever wanted. And ooh, never gotta wonder about you. 'Cause I know that you're gonna come through. Darling, you love me right. And no, never gotta worry, you'll go. With you, I am always at home. Darling, you love me right. Never gotta wonder, no. Never gotta worry, you gotta wonder, no. Never gotta wonder, no. Never gotta worry, you gotta wonder, no. Never gotta wonder, no. Darling, I've been down. The last ones they walked out. I couldn't count on them to be there now. So I went and lost faith that I would be okay. Then you came around and showed me the right way. And ooh, never gotta wonder about you. 'Cause I know that you're gonna come through. Darling, you love me right. And no, never gotta worry, you'll go. With you, I am always at home. Darling, you love me right. Never gotta wonder, no. Never gotta worry, you gotta wonder, no. Never gotta wonder, no. Never gotta worry, you gotta wonder, no. Where did you come from? Bringing that good love. I never knew it was real till you showed up. 'Cause you always honest. You keep your promise. Tell me that I'm all you ever wanted. And ooh, never gotta wonder about you. 'Cause I know that you're gonna come through. Darling, you love me right. And no, never gotta worry, you'll go. With you, I am always at home. Darling, you love me right. Never gotta wonder, no. Never gotta worry, you gotta wonder, no. Never gotta wonder, no. Never gotta worry, you gotta wonder, no. Never gotta wonder, no.
All right. Okay. It's exactly 3 p.m. right now. Welcome everyone to day 3 of Southeast Asia DeFi Week. Today, we are going to be featuring a different kind of DeFi application. It's really exciting. It's called Melon Protocol. It is something which I think a lot of people from the traditional finance space would find of particular interest, okay, because we have a very special guest today. She is the co-founder of this project, and we're so lucky, to be able to have the co-founder herself to be here to share with us on a non-technical, on a beginner level, so that we can understand how to use Melon protocol for what the use cases are, who has currently used it, for what benefits, etc., etc. Now, for those who are joining us in for the first time today, here we are. We are on the middle point of Southeast Asia DeFi Week. Hi, welcome everyone, to the third day of Southeast Asia DeFi Week. Today is very special because we're really excited to see the next step, of to feature another DeFi protocol. And today we have a very special guest as well. We have the co-founder herself to introduce us what Melon Protocol is. So to those who are joining us for the first time this week, Southeast Asia DeFi Week is a one entire week, 5 days. We're right now in the middle point. And every single day we cover one different kind of DeFi application. Over the last 2 days, we covered Maker and Kyber Network. You saw what is DeFi. We covered the basics of it. You experienced how a decentralized organization such as Maker uses the technology and the community to create a price stable coin, and by inviting users to collateralize their assets. And also you learned how decentralized financial DeFi, in short, can actually allow people who are already cryptocurrency holders to do more, and gain a new form of financing just because they hold cryptocurrencies. Then we have Kyber Network, who showed us how they solve the liquidity problem as more and more tokens get introduced to place. Kyber Network is a protocol as well as a suite of products, and today we're going to be covering Melon Protocol. Today we are having someone also very special. It's not very often that we get his time available today, so I like to invite Colbert to come and say hi. Colbert is the founder of Bitcoin Malaysia.
Hi guys,
Colbert.
how are you? Can you hear me?
So Colbert is the gentleman who helped us build this community. Started bitcoinmalaysia.com back in 2012. Started really small, and over the years, it's been 8 years, hasn't it?
Yes, definitely.
How is things differently between now and then, bro?
Well, of course, there are more users right now in the crypto space. That's a great thing.
So, what's that? We are very happy, to bring Southeast Asia DeFi Week to you together. This is not just Bitcoin Malaysia's effort alone. This entire week is actually powered by a multitude of different partners. We have Blocklime. We are supported by Blocklime, the blockchain development company, who has trained over 1,000 blockchain developers in the last 3 years. We have ETHKL, supported by our good friend Harif Kamaru, who is with Etherscan. We are supported by Access Blockchain Association, Ivan on Tech, the YouTube channel, as well as the Academy, CoinGecko, the aggregator for all things that you need. For in terms of cryptocurrency, you want to know the data, who is the largest trading volumes, market cap, developer activity, social activity. CoinGecko is the best. Asia Blockchain Review. Their news coverage is really complete. Highly recommend. Thanks to our friends also from other parts of Southeast Asia. From Indonesia, we have Crypto Watch, we have Tapcryption, Super Crypto News from Singapore. We even have someone from partners from Germany. Crypto Ticker is actually helping us to spread the word about Southeast Asia DeFi Week. And last but not least, Tech for Penang, our friends up in the north, run by our friend Kariku. Combined together, our mission is to help more people to understand what cryptocurrencies are by providing a safe, neutral, and easy environment for people to learn about cryptocurrencies, and help people differentiate between what is real, what is fake, so that you can capture what is the real opportunities out there. And especially during this time, this very unique situation that we all are in, a lot of people's salaries, coronavirus has really tested and challenged and broken a lot of assumptions, of what we thought was safe. As such, but one industry that's actually booming and is in high demand of talent is the crypto/blockchain industry. So part of our mission is to help people to generate an alternative income here. First, by understanding the space and differentiate the good and bad actors. And by doing that, we are then able to become a very attractive destination, make Southeast Asia this point where a lot of reputable, well-funded blockchain projects can come here and find adopters, users, fans, and champions. So part of Southeast Asia DeFi Week, every single day when you attend the session, you get to claim a very special, unique proof of attendance token to prove that you have attended, you have invested your time to get yourself educated, about a new subject matter, which is decentralized finance. So this proof of attendance token is of limited quantity, is only for people who attend. It can be used as cryptographic proof that you have invested your time. And it can also be used to demonstrate that because you have attended this, possibly you can redeem rewards for future events. So say, for example, one group of people that does that is DEF CON. DEF CON, they have run different kinds of they have run about 5 DEF CONs thus far in the last 5 years. DEF CON 6 is going to be happening next year in Bogota. And when you attend DEF CON, and if you can show these proof of attendance tokens at the doorstep, you get more goodies. So that's one other thing about the proof of attendance tokens that is useful. Although this is transferable, please don't. There's no reason to, that's one. Number two is that everything is visible on the public blockchain. This is an Ethereum-based token, and thus Ethereum is an open public ledger. If you transfer out, it just basically begs the question, why are you transferring out this token? So just don't do it. Now, some of you have asked, the question over the last 2 days, how to claim your POP token. Would just like to roughly give a step-by-step. After you have received the instructions, basically it's filling up the feedback form at the end of the session each day. You will then receive a unique custom link from us to claim your token for the day. All right. And it will look something like this when you key in your token. All you have to do is to paste your Ethereum address from any wallet of your choice. We have given some recommendation. We recommended Trust Wallet because of the very easy user interface. And then click Claim POAP token. Once you have clicked this, because currently gas fees are really high, we do not recommend that you pay the high gas fees to claim this token. You can skip this step and use this Telegram bot, called Gas Price Tracker Bot, which was created by our friend Dave Appleton. He's another member in the space in Malaysia, based in Malaysia, who has created this bot so that we can track the gas prices, and we can receive alerts when the gas prices has finally come down to a more reasonable level. And when the gas prices has come down, then you can revisit your link, connect your wallet, and pay the gas fee so that your proof of attendance token then can be transferred to your Ethereum wallet address. All right, so it's really, really simple. If you have any questions or if you need a step-by-step guide after this session, I am planning to do a video guide. So stay tuned for that. Some of you also asked, like, Jason, what is a high gas price and what is a average gas price and what is considered a low gas price? So one place that you can actually see the gas price history is at Etherscan. And when you visit this webpage, basically you can see the historically wise. I'm going to load up. Let me load up my laser pointer. So you can see that historically, gas prices are low. Get what I mean? Gas prices are around this range. But however, right now we are here in May and June, and you can see that these last few months have been very interesting for the Ethereum network. So because there's a lot of activity, a lot of people want to use the Ethereum blockchain network to process transactions, and thus we are experiencing this temporary abnormal high gas fees. But if you look at the long term, it shouldn't be like that. In fact, okay, one of the things that we are looking forward to is Ethereum 2.0, when the Ethereum blockchain network can handle more transactions per day, this would actually be helpful with the gas price as well. So all part and parcel of technology development. All right. So for those who have not claimed your second day proof of attendance token, here's how you do it. Okay, you have until 6 p.m. today to fill in the form for yesterday's session. Okay, just basically give us feedback, let us know what you liked about it, what would you like more, okay, how can we improve, etc., etc. And that's how you can claim your token. All right, with the introductions out of the way, let's get to today's featured speaker. Oh, by the way, for those who attended the first day, okay, and Maker was giving away 5 DAI to the top 100 people, okay, who fill up the form. So if you made the top 100, you can actually check it by scanning this QR code here. All right. Now here's a short announcement. The 5 DAI giveaway will only be distributed when the gas prices come low. Okay, when the gas prices come, we have said, okay, that when the gas prices, okay, the fast one comes to about like 15 Gwei, then we will execute and you will receive your 5 DAI. We created this list so that, we are able to be transparent, okay, and to give you assurance that you are going to get your 5 DAI, that you have made it to the list and you're going to get it. All right. Just make sure that your Ethereum address, okay, that you have provided to us is the correct one. If you have any questions, again, you can reach out to us. There's a Telegram group that we can provide for beginner support for the entire Southeast Asia DeFi week. Use that channel, okay, to let us know if you need any help. Right. Okay. Now we're done with the opening. With that, okay, I'm really happy that we have the privilege of having Mona Isa from all the way from Switzerland, who is joining us today to give us an introduction, okay, about Melon Protocol. Thank you for being with us today, Mona.
Hi guys, great to be here. Thanks for having me. I am very excited to tell you all about Melon and to meet some of you. We've got a really fun agenda for the day. And if you have any questions, let's try and keep it as interactive as possible. So like really happy for you to jump in. I think Jason's going to help me relay any questions. And if anything is not clear or if I'm going too fast or too slow, just don't hesitate to shout. So, the things we want to cover today are just kind of a quick introduction of who I am. And you're probably also wondering who Avant-Garde Finance is. The deck is in the Avant-Garde Finance branding. So I'm going to give you kind of a little bit of history of Melon and where we are today. Then I want to dive into what is the Melon protocol? What problem does it solve for you? Like, why should you care about Melon? And we're going to then look at some use cases for Melon. Who is it interesting for? Who might want to use it? Who's currently using it? And what benefits have they received from using it? So I'm going to actually look at some concrete examples and show you some examples of some of the users who are doing some really cool things with Melon and hoping to make some money out of it. So we're going to finish off by a demo. So I'm going to show you guys how to use it. If you have your wallets plugged in, you can even, kind of join me. We'll just do a quick demo, but should give you all the tools to kind of play around with it yourself afterwards. And then we thought it would be fun to end with a little Kahoot game at the end. So we've got a five question multiple choice Kahoot game at the end with a little prize. We're going to be handing out $100 in Melon tokens to the 3 users to be able to answer the questions first, or to get the highest scores and first. So So yeah, without any further ado, I'm going to just begin by introducing myself. So my name is Mona. As Jason mentioned, I am the co-founder of the Melon Protocol. Many of you might remember me as Melonport, the co-founder of Melonport. And you're probably wondering why Melonport doesn't exist today. In February 2019, we became the first DeFi protocol to fully decentralize our governance and hand over control of our protocol to a DAO. The DAO runs on Aragon, and it's composed of technically capable and user representative members. And it's been running like that ever since. And to show our commitment to decentralization, we also dissolved Melonport, which had done one of the very first ICO. We raised about $2.9 million. And we raised exactly what we needed to complete the project. We delivered on time, on budget, and then we dissolved the company. So there is no entity now controlling the protocol. Upgrades, network parameters, and resource allocation is only controlled or decided on by the DAO. So since then, obviously, Uniswap, I think, and Tornado Cash, I think, have also decentralized. And I saw this week in the news, Compound is on the path to decentralization too. So it's really exciting to see other DeFi protocols follow in the decentralization path and meet the promises that they made to their token holders. So that kind of hopefully explains some background. So Avantgarde Finance is a company that I formed after dissolving Melonport, and we decided in the summer last year, at the end of the summer last year, that there was so much exciting stuff happening in DeFi that we could take Melon to the next level with a bunch of new integrations, with lending, with derivatives, with order book aggregation, like 1-inch type solutions, etc., for liquidity. And we thought, well, we're still free. Everyone is now free to make an application to the Melon Council DAO to develop on Melon. And so we decided to apply to the DAO, and we asked if we could become the lead developer. They said yes. So in October 1st last year, Avantgarde Finance became the lead developer of the Melon Protocol. We have some members of my old team from Melonport join me, 3 or 4 members. And we also hired some exceptional new people. We're still hiring, by the way. I'm just going to mention it now because of the terrible job situation. If anyone is a talented developer and looking for a job, we are hiring at the moment. But anyway, more importantly, we're now responsible for delivering a 3-year roadmap, which is extremely crucial and critical to the making Melon the infrastructure for asset management, the infrastructure for which any fund or any investment vehicle is created on and invested through. So, yeah.
Can I help you with your slides a little bit? Because I think the people are not showing your slides yet. Yes, there we go.
Yeah. No, so I actually deliberately took the slides off to do the intro, but but it's back now. So, yeah, so moving on. So what is Melon? So for those of you who are not familiar with Melon, there's a lot of text on this, so you don't need to pay too much attention to it. But basically, Melon is an open source protocol that allows anybody, anywhere, to set up a fund or an investment vehicle. It can be an ETF, it can be any kind of investment product, with a few clicks in a few minutes and a few dollars. Like, it doesn't take a lot of time, it doesn't cost a lot of money. The real features about it is that anyone who has set up a fund before knows that one of the most valuable things you can have as a trader or a fund manager in your career is an auditable, verifiable track record. Because before you can raise money from other people to invest in you, the first question they're going to ask you is, do you have a track record? And to have a track record sounds quite easy, but it's actually not. I've tried to do it myself firsthand. Actually, by way of background, I come from traditional finance originally, and I spent 8 years as a trader at Goldman Sachs, 4 years in a hedge fund, and then I tried to launch my own small hedge fund with $30 million of assets under management. And that was obviously very small compared to the money I was managing at Goldman. But I was really shocked that setting up and managing a fund comes with so much complication, cost, administrative, operational nightmare. And it's not just the cost in terms of dollar costs, but it's also the time, because processes are so inefficient and regulatory requirements are so high. So I actually ended up closing my fund after a year, and that was in 2015. And then when I discovered right after that, I started getting curious about Bitcoin and Ethereum. When I understood the potential of Ethereum, that's ultimately what led me to understanding that future of assets is digital. And if the future of assets is digital, then we can automate all the asset management processes, replicating kind of traditional requirements and putting them in code. So you don't need all the paper, personnel, administrator, custodian, etc. So basically, Melon automates asset management protocol. It makes it possible for managers to build a track record with very little capital, and that track record is on the blockchain, so it's verifiable, visible, and auditable, and easy for anyone to discover you as a talented manager and then invest in you. It's a very flexible protocol, so you can use it. It's like, you can think of it like building blocks. You can fill out a form at the beginning, and it just kind of dictates how you want your fund to run, what fees you want to charge to investors, what DEXs you want to be connected to, which lending protocols you want to be connected to, which assets you want to be able to trade. You kind of define the rule set of your fund, and then deploy it to the blockchain. And once you deploy it to the blockchain, you can never change the rule set. So investors have comfort knowing that if you said you're only going to invest in lending protocols, so you're only going to lend out USDC and DAI, for example, then as an investor, that's the risk profile you're comfortable with. You know that he's only going to charge 2 and 20% management fee of 2% and a performance fee of 20%. So as an investor, I know that you can never break the rules or do something too risky that I'm not comfortable with. So the idea is the rules are embedded in code. And it's the code and the blockchain that enforces those rules. So that's Melon. We're gonna see a demo later, so hopefully it will kind of become a little bit more clear. But the general idea I want you guys to take away from this is that it's a way to prove your talent in trading or managing assets or investing with building a track record and becoming able to monetize that track record and make a business or a living out of it. So. In terms of what problem does it actually solve, I don't know how many of you have any experience in the asset management industry, but if you were to set up a fund in the traditional space and become a fund manager, the setup costs are incredibly high. And we're talking about a minimum, a really absolute minimum of $100,000 in a setup fee and $75,000 per year to maintenance costs. And that's just because everything in traditional asset management is done so inefficiently, including crypto funds, by the way. And it's not just the money; it's also layers and layers of administrative overheads that you have to comply with very stringent requirements and regulations. Extremely high cost to implement internal and investor reporting. So usually when you have a fund, investors want to know what's the P&L of the fund on a daily basis, performance, data on your volatility, on your Sharpe ratio, etc. And it's very time consuming to kind of monitor that P&L and book your buys and sells for every single transaction and monitor your average cost, price in, out, etc. From the investor perspective, investors get a lack of transparency. Usually to invest in exciting deals, you need to have a minimum of $250,000. And usually minimum requirements are because there's so much legal cost and paperwork to onboard an investor that it has to be big enough that it's worth the legal fees to onboard them. You have to trust. Also, as an investor, you don't get normally in traditional finance much visibility into what the manager is really doing and whether he's really enforcing the rules of the fund. And so these can be very big barriers to small to medium size users. So like people who like trading or investing and want to make it a career, or people who like to invest but can't, afford to put $250,000 in a fund in one go. Melon is really like democratizing asset management, so making it really cheap for a manager to set up a fund and manage a fund, and really cheap and transparent for an investor to discover funds, invest in those funds, regardless of whether the investment is $1 or $200,000. And it just makes everything really simple, easy, and transparent. So where did we get? So let's talk about some use cases. So, I said this briefly before, but I really, really want to emphasize that our target users are small to medium-sized managers. We don't care about Fidelity of the world or the BlackRock of the world or the Goldman Sachs of the world. We couldn't care less about having them as users. Melon is not built to service or serve the big users. We're there to service the small to medium-sized users who would never be seen or never have an opportunity otherwise. In terms of strategies, we don't care if you're manually managing a fund. Maybe you have a research-driven strategy and you like to research different token projects, do some fundamental analysis and token modeling, and buy and sell accordingly. We don't care if you have automated strategies where you're just kind of buy based on some bot that tells you, at this level buy, at that level sell, or much, obviously you can go much more sophisticated based on technicals and stuff. We don't care if you're building ETF baskets, insurance funds, or just using it as a competition. We might actually launch a competition ourselves later this year with prize money. But the idea is you can use Melon as the building blocks to build any product. Like, we are not in the product business, we're just in the infrastructure business. And we want to enable people to build innovative, cool products on chain that can be monetized, that can be, that you can build a proven track record and then attract investors and then basically monetize your talent. Another cool use case that we're working on, which we've seen a lot of hype about lately, is DAOs. There's a lot more for-profit DAOs coming out recently. And we thought it would be fun to partner with Aragon and build a sort of Aragon plugin to a Melon fund, which means a DAO could basically manage a Melon fund. And we're hopefully going to release that soon. And we're kind of working with them now to get that up and running. But that's just another example of a cool use case that could be used for. So those are some use cases. So I guess you're wondering, so who's currently using it? So actually, I'm going to take a break from the slides now. And I'm going to show you the monitoring tool that we have built. So for those of you familiar with the Graph protocol, we built this using the Melon protocol in combination with the Graph protocol. And basically, this website is monitoring.melon.network. You can pull it up and take a look now or later with me. But basically what this website is, as you know, probably from transacting in crypto, looking up current, data on the blockchain is pretty easy. What's happening today on Etherscan, etc. But finding historical data from the blockchain is actually quite hard to visualize in a user-friendly way. So the graph, our subgraph helps enable that for the Melon network. It's a very user-friendly way to understand what's happening on the network. So if you take a look here, you can see that there are a total of 285 funds that have been created on the network. There's a total assets under management of 2,410 ethers or $570,000. You can see that the number of investments made are 602 across 285 investors. And you can see how much gas has been consumed on the network, because similar to Ethereum, we have our own asset management gas. That's what AMGU stands for. And the only fee you have to pay on Melon is a small gas cost to transact with the contracts. We have a page that shows the Melon engine. So the Melon engine is like when you pay gas on the Melon network, it's collected into the Melon engine and then burnt. So we have a buy and burn model similar to Maker and similar to Kyber. And we think that this model is really interesting. I think it's one of the most interesting token models around, because it clearly and directly links the usage on the network to the value of the token. So we think that's really valuable, because it means that token holders have an incentive to market Melon to their friends and family or whatever. That the more users, the more tokens are burnt, the more the Melon token goes up. And it's also interesting because the Melon Council DAO distribute tokens in Melon to developers and maintainers. And so the developers building on the network, like us, for example, we know that if we deliver great value and easy to use interface, then and high quality features, then more people will use the network. So our tokens that we're earning will be worth more. So that's why we think the model is really good, because it really directly aligns incentives. Another page you can check out on the terminal is you can see all the funds in detail that have ever been launched on the network. You can rank them by date since inception. You can rank them by AUM. So you can see here the largest fund on the network is Rhino Fund with $308,000 under management. You could also say, well, I'm not interested in assets under management. I'm interested in which one has performed the best. So you could rank by share price. You can see this is the best performing fund since inception. They all start at share price 1, so you can get a sense for how well some of these funds have performed. By the way, this performance is against ETH, so that's also pretty impressive considering. And actually, interestingly, I think this one outperformed because it had a high position. We can actually check, because if we click into the fund, we get the fund fact sheet. And this is all the data that is on-chain. This is unique data to the fund itself. You can see that this manager is charging a 1% management fee, a 10% performance fee. You can see some other information, like the return since inception is up 220%. If they keep performing like this, they'll be up to 77%. You can see that they're integrated with 0x, Oasis DEX, Melon Engine, and the Kyber network. And you can see, hey, big surprise. We all saw that Kyber had a really big move this year. So manager had a strong view on Kyber network and was 100% invested in Kyber and still running that long position. So that's pretty cool. Then you can see the historical share price, you can see the net asset value, and you can see what's happened to the fund holdings over time. Also interesting on the monitoring tool is you can see some data on investors, obviously without their names, just from their Ethereum addresses. You can see like this investor has made the most investments on the network, 11 investments total. You can see the latest investments and redemptions, like this was yesterday's, and you can see if there's any pending at the moment. These are, the next tab is Asset Universe. You can see the assets that are tradable on the Melon terminal. So these are all the tokens that managers can trade, buy and sell. And you can see also data on the exchanges. So across all the funds on the Melon network, Kyber network is the one that has had the most trades on it since inception. And then number 2, Uniswap, even though Uniswap actually was quite a new integration, it's only been there for 3 months. So it's pretty impressive. You can get a sense for where most of the managers are trading. So that's the Melon monitoring tool. So you can get a sense anytime who's using it. But maybe we should kind of look into the benefits, or maybe one specific example on how he's using it. And the most successful example to date is actually this one. Hang on. So this one is the largest fund on the network. He launched, I think, less than a month ago. We can actually check that. So yeah, the inception date is the 29th of April, so just over a month ago. This fund has been around for a month and a few days, and he's already raised 1,305 ETH, so $305,000. He is charging a management fee of 2%. That means that the people investing in his fund trust him to make money for them over time or to preserve their capital. And he's got a portfolio which is diversified across, I think he's still in the process of trading, so this is not final allocation, but you can see that his portfolio allocation is in Bitcoin, ETH, Kyber, and REN at the moment. And the idea is, like, people can just invest in this fund with one click, and they have exposure to a basket or to, it's not really a basket because this is a discretionary managed fund. But basically, this manager is going to make sure that he's buying and selling these tokens for the investors, so they don't have to do anything. And he's earning a 2% fee per year, so 2% on 300,000. it's not bad for especially if you were already managing your money anyway and you didn't have to do anything, and it's all automated. So that's an example where somebody was able to launch a fund, attract investors, earn fees paid by those investors. And just going back to fees for a second, we have this concept of management fee, which is a time-based fee. So it doesn't matter how the fund performs; it's independent of performance. It's dependent on just the length of time that the investment is in the fund. So if you have $300,000 for a year, or let's say you have, $1 million for a year, then 2% of $1 million would be your fee for managing the portfolio.
Okay.
Jason, you want to say something?
So can we do a quick recap, and maybe I'd like to ask a few questions as well.
Sure, yeah.
Right. So I managed to take away some of these things, okay, from what you have presented so far.
Yeah.
So Melon is a protocol that allows people to set up funds, okay,
Yeah.
and build a track record that is fully automated, transparent, and auditable. Part of the problems that it solves is that traditionally these kinds of things are really expensive to do, especially if you're someone who want to start out. Okay, the rules are embedded in code, thus providing trust.
Exactly. Yeah.
Okay, and what Melon's the group that Melon serves are the small, medium-sized fund managers.
Yeah.
So if you are a talented fund manager, this is the group of people that you want to help to empower.
Trader, manager, investor, whatever. Right. Yeah.
Okay, so this is, and what you basically have demonstrated thus far in your demo is that you brought us to monitoring.melon.network.
Yeah.
And what happens is that, let's see, share screen.
So that's just a monitoring tool to monitor the stats on the network. It's not the interface. I'm going to show you the interface later.
Right. So what you demonstrated to us, okay, is that if I come into Melon, I can see the number of funds. So there are 285 funds. And how many fund managers actually created these funds? How many fund managers are there that created this?
285, because you can only set up one fund with one Ethereum address.
Ah, okay, all right. One Ethereum address, one fund. Okay.
Yeah.
And then this tool allows us to transparently see, okay, the different kinds of funds and their performance. We can rank them based on asset under management.
Exactly.
And one of the largest ones, okay, that has the largest amount of assets, managing about 1,300 ETH. Go in, is Rhino Fund. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And all these right. Okay, got it. Okay, so cool. All right. So there's basically anyone can create a fund. Okay. And how do fund managers, okay, from after creating a fund, okay, on your platform, then go and use this platform to basically attract investors? What has been their experience?
Really, I mean, so like, it's a really good question. So basically, like, when we first went live in February 2019, the experience was really bad because the user experience, the interface we had before was really hard to use, and it was full of errors. And the functionality of Melon is very complex compared to a DEX and compared to a lending protocol. There's so much stuff happening under the hood. So when we started on October 1st with a new company, the first thing we did was we totally overhauled the interface, and we tried to make it much easier to use. And I would say, like, in middle of February, that's when the interface went live. And most of the activity on the network has been since that point. So since that point, the feedback started to get much, much better. Both managers and investors have seen a substantial pickup in user experience. That's also why, I don't know if you noticed, but the AUM on the network has been ticking up a lot recently. And in our next release, we expect another 10x improvement for users, because we've been taking all the feedback, and some of it's really, really good feedback. And we're sort of, it used to take 15 minutes to set up a fund. In our next release, it should take 2 to 3, 1 or 2 minutes. So it's really gonna improve. Also, the invest form is much faster now. So yeah, we're seeing initially not very good feedback, but recently really good pickup.
Okay. All right. Okay. What's that? I think, are there any questions from the crowd right now? So one question is, how much does it actually cost to launch a fund on Melon Protocol?
So that's a really good question, and it actually also depends on Ethereum gas, which has been quite high lately. But generally speaking, the highest I think it's got to in the last few weeks has been $50 to set up a fund. The lowest is maybe $15 to $20 of gas.
Okay. All right. Okay. All right.
I think there's another question.
How many funds can a manager create? Okay. Do you track a specific manager performance for all the funds that he or she managed to create? So I think this question probably comes from the point of view that if somebody is not a very good fund manager and basically creates an Ethereum wallet, runs a fund, the fund fails, then is there any, like, how do I say, how do people know, okay, that this is that he
It's not
what's
luck,
that?
because
Yeah.
like you could have 10 funds, for example, and to 10 completely different strategies, and one of them is bound to win. Yeah, that's a really good question. We don't track that information at the protocol level, because so you can do one fund per wallet, but since we don't take the identity, we believe in having a protocol that's completely permissionless without identity enforcement. But so yes, you can game it in that sense, but what we plan to do going forward is create like a professional league and an amateur league, and the professional league will have to kind of give their identity, basically, so that we can avoid that problem. So we're probably going to do that later this year, together with some, I think I mentioned it briefly, but some prize-based competitions.
I think, okay, we'll reserve the what's that? So there's a lot of questions. I'm reading them right now, but I think that it will be much more clearer after the demo.
Yeah, I think so too. So maybe we just go, actually, that's the last, second last thing on my, kind of agenda anyway. So I'm still sharing my screen, right? Yeah. Okay, so now this is the terminal. So this is the actual interface to our protocol. And the website, if you want to follow, is melon.avantgarde.finance. Maybe you can type it in, Jason, into the channel. The first thing you need to do is connect with a wallet. So I'm going to connect with my MetaMask wallet, which has been really slow this week. I don't know if that's also because of Ethereum. So you just need to give the terminal permission to connect to your accounts. And that's us connected. And what I'm going to do now is show you perspective of someone who's setting up a fund for the first time, perspective of an investor, and the perspective of someone who already has a fund set up and how they can interact with it. So I'm in a wallet now that already has a fund. So I'm going to switch to a wallet. Actually, I'll tell you what I'm going to do to make it faster. I will do 2 pages at the same time, because this looks like it's going to. Let's start with the perspective of my fund. Okay, so this is a fund I've already deployed, okay? And here you can see you get the same ranking that you saw before, right? You can rank the funds by share price. This is the daily share price today. You can see that some funds are up, which is impressive, I think, given the I think Bitcoin and ETH were down overnight.
Yep.
And so this is performance against ETH. And another thing you can do is go into the fund and you see a table of performance against ETH, DAI, and Bitcoin. So if you're actually interested in the performance against dollar or DAI, you can see this fund has done really badly against ETH or Bitcoin, but it's done pretty well against the dollar. And so, but at this stage, at this level, we keep it all against ETH so that you can compare them. And in the next release, we'll also have a USDC comparison as well. But but for my purpose, I'm just going to go to my fund, which I have already deployed, TTJ Capital. And what you get is the fund fact sheet and the portfolio holding. So you can see I'm 79% in ETH, 18.5% in Melon, and 1.69% in Ant. Haven't done too well since inception. I'm down 2.2%. I'm integrated to all the DEXs on the network. This fund is quite new, so I haven't got quarter to date, year to date, month to date data yet. I have no rules on my fund right now, and you can access all the smart contracts to check that the rules are as they say they are. And I'm charging a 1% management fee and a 10% performance fee, collectible every 90 days. So if somebody wanted to invest in my fund, they would just come to this page. They would request the number of shares and then invest. And it's just a matter of signing the transaction. And basically confirming it. And then at the time of the next price feed update for the protocol, your investment will go through. So this is just transacting now. So while that happens, I'm just going to go to show you the trading. So we're now currently processing an investment. At the same time, I'm going to show you trading. So here, as I showed you before, this fund is integrated with Kyber, Uniswap, 0x, and a private market maker who settles via 0x. So if I wanted to do a trade here, let's say we wanted to sell some WETH to buy some Kyber. I don't have enough WETH, so yeah, I can just put the amount I want to sell, and I get 2 quotes from Kyber and Uniswap. It looks like Kyber is offering me the better price, so I can just do the trade, confirm the transaction, and when that's updated, you will see my Kyber network position updated, and also the price of my fund, which is published to the blockchain every day. And that's really the secret, one of the secret recipes of Melon, because the price of the fund is published to the blockchain every single day. You're building this blockchain track record, which is completely verifiable, completely provable, completely audited. And I'm just going back to the old window, and you can see that our investment was successful. And so investment requests, once they've been submitted, it takes a day, there's a price feed update every 24 hours. And so at the next price feed update, this will get executed. And then just coming back to the other window, we're still waiting for the trade to transact. And when this trade transacts, basically, we're going to see the positions update in my fund, I think. Yeah, I think that updated now. So if we go to overview, refresh, might take another second or two, but basically we'll see the Kyber position populate in here shortly. In the meantime, now I'm going to switch to a wallet. Oh, sorry, I haven't finished actually here. Just going back to my fund. So you can see the trade confirmation here. So I'm not sure if I made a typo. Did I put 0 Kyber? I'm not sure, but I'll look into this later. But anyway, here we also can interact with order books as well. And if you click on the bid or offer, you get you can also trade that way. And you can also look for bigger quotes by using this private market maker. So here our investment is submitted. So this will get executed at the next. You can also redeem from this box. So we've looked at invest, we've looked at trading, and now I want to show you the rule set aspect. So the rule sets of the fund are what helps establish trust between the investor and the manager. And these are for more risk-averse funds. So one rule set example is price tolerance. So this ensures that if you put a 10% price tolerance, it means that you can never trade at a price which is disadvantageous to the fund if it's 10% worse off for the fund than the last price. So the idea is to prevent managers accidentally or intentionally trading at the wrong price. You know, sometimes it can be a fat finger, sometimes it can be more malicious, but to drain the funds. And you can put a guard against that by defining a price tolerance. Another thing you can do is define a maximum number of positions. So sometimes people like to do that if they're focused funds. So, you know, the marketing strategy would be, we only focus on 10 or 15 positions, but we know them inside out, and we know these tokens better than anyone else. Other people might say, I don't want this rule because I'm a generalistic fund and I just take the opportunity when I see it. Another rule set is maximum concentration. And maximum concentration is really interesting. It's basically, as you probably have experienced in your life one time or another, sometimes greed takes over from managers. And either when you're losing a lot of money in a position, sometimes people can do some silly things like taking really big positions that are too risky, but because they are really convinced and or too emotional, and having a maximum concentration policy can prevent that from happening and ensure that you don't get that kind of emotional behavior. So you have rules from the beginning saying this fund cannot take a position size bigger than 20% of assets under management. Another feature that we had a lot of demand for was whitelisting investors. So if you don't select this, anyone can invest in your fund. But if you do select this, you can basically choose who's allowed to invest in your fund and just copy paste their Ethereum addresses here. And so that would make it kind of a whitelisted fund. So basically, you for example, you could do a KYC on this person before letting them invest. If they pass the KYC, then you put their Ethereum address here. And lastly, but not least, is you can create assets which are, if you select the asset whitelist, you can say like, these are the only assets my fund is allowed to trade. Or you can, by contrast, say, my fund is allowed to trade all of these assets except Link and Ren. I love these two tokens, don't get me wrong, but it's just a example. Like if you had tokens that, I don't know, like you thought they were low quality or dangerous or whatever, they didn't pass some kind of threshold, you can create a blacklist, which means the fund is never allowed to trade those tokens. So as an investor, you have the comfort of knowing these things. And the last aspect of running a fund is basically the admin page. So here, this is like a little feature we have. So when we integrate new exchanges, you don't have to set up a new fund. You can just tick the new exchange and update your fund so that it includes that exchange too. Here you can redefine the assets that you will accept as investment collateral. And this is the exciting pages where you claim your fees, because if you have managed a fund, I think this one is very new, so it doesn't accumulate many fees yet. But basically, this is how you would, this fee section is where your fees get accrued, and where when you want to, if I want to claim my management fee, all I have to do is click claim management fee. I'm not going to do it now because it's going to cost me more in gas than my fee. But basically, the idea is you can get your fees every 6 months or every 12 months. Could they go back directly into your wallet? You can shut down the fund anytime. Again, by shutting down the fund, all the functionality of the fund will be paused or deprecated. The only functionality that will remain is that investors can redeem. And last but not least, you can join by signing with your private key. You can join a private user-only channel on Telegram by just following the instructions here. So you can kind of get access to the team and to other managers and compare notes on things that are working, things that are not working, or even just give us feedback on feature requests and stuff. So yeah, so that's kind of the performance of a fund once you have it deployed. Now we have to go back to my very slow MetaMask and try to go to a wallet that is empty. Let's just go and create a new wallet. Yeah. So now we have a wallet that has never set up a fund. And so you get this new button here saying create a fund, right? And so create a fund just populates this form, and you can give your fund a name. Let's call it the Bitcoin Malaysia Fund, for example. I'm not going to deploy this. It's just an example. You can say, we want to charge like 2 and 10. We want to charge our fees once per year. You can choose which dexes you want to be connected to, etc. And then that's it. You just deploy. You have to sign 9 transactions when you deploy, so it takes about 10 to 15 minutes. But once you have deployed, you get to the page I showed you earlier, the perspective of the manager. I just want to say that in our next release, this filling out a form will just be 1 transaction to get the fund kind of in a state. So we're trying to even take that 15 minutes down to 1 or 2 minutes to deploy a fund.
Really cool.
Really cool. Yeah, it's really awesome. And then the last perspective I want to show you is just browsing as an investor. Let's say I love showing the Rhino Fund as an example. But if I wanted to invest in Rhino Fund, I could check out all his stats. If I like them, I can invest. He actually has an investor whitelist, so I'm not allowed to invest. So then I would have to go back and maybe find some other fund that will be open, or I can contact him, but it's a bit difficult now because we don't have a way to communicate with the manager, but we might have that in future. But here, for example, let's say I want to invest in the second best fund, which I think is Flash Boys. I can go here, invest, and a form comes up, and I can just invest directly from my wallet. And so I can build even a portfolio of funds. I can build a fund of funds. So that's pretty much it. I mean, if you're interested in playing around with it, one blog that is really clear and easy to follow that can walk you through it is this one, introducing the Melon Terminal on our Medium page. And we're always available if anyone has any questions on our Telegram, etc. So I think I'm going to leave it there for now. Jason, what do you think?
I think that it's really, really cool. Let me do a little bit of takeaway again.
Sure.
Let me see. How do we? Right. So I got some new takeaways. Okay. So you demonstrated to us, okay, the Melon Terminal from a fund manager point of view, from a trader point of view, from investor point of view. And you also demonstrated to us how fund managers can set up the Ruleset so that not just only, okay, would it reduce inspire trust, but also, okay, it minimizes human error. It could be either through, like you said, fat fingers, or it could be just basically unintentional errors as well.
Yeah.
You also demonstrated how you can create a fund. Anyone could create a fund, and it's as quick as like within 15 minutes. Is that what you said? Okay, like
currently it's about 15 minutes, yeah. But it will be much faster in future.
And the fund manager gets to decide, okay, like what are the management fee, the performance fee that they get to do. 15 minutes, it's amazing compared to what traditionally you would have to go through in order to set up a fund. So currently you need to sign 9 transactions, your fund is created, and in the near future, your fund can be created by signing just 1 transaction.
Exactly.
So I think that right now is a very good opportune time to do an AMA. All right.
Awesome.
For those who don't know what AMA means, it means ask Mona anything. All right. So I will kick off with one question. So the first question I like to ask is, what must traditional so we have about like 500 people registered for Southeast Asia DeFi Week. Right now, about 100 people tuning in. Some of them are fund managers, but most likely they are from the traditional line, traditional fund managers. What do they need to know going into this? Okay, what is different? What should they read before that they actually start using Melon Protocol?
Yeah, so that's a great question. The first thing I would recommend is that we have great documentation. It's if you're looking to understand how the protocol works, I would go to docs.melonport.com. I don't know if the screen is still sharing, but that's the link for how the protocol works. And also, we're very happy that recently we also published Melon.js. So if there are any developers in the audience who want to work on automated or algo bots, or any kind of strategy requiring a bot, this is really easy to follow documentation on either how to build your own interface to Melon or how to set up a fund. Like our Medium page also has a step-by-step story on how to set up a trading bot using Melon. So, there's no shortage of documentation. If anyone, if there's somewhere I can share the links with everyone now or afterwards, I can drop them into somewhere. But we're also very happy to help, and we'd love to hear from anyone who's building anything interesting in Melon. We'd love to help you succeed, basically.
Okay. Where is the place, okay, where all the communication happens? Where would be that one place, okay, where if they wanted to get support or they wanted to be part of your community, where do they go to?
Our Telegram group is probably the best place. I'm just gonna drop the link in here. So yeah, you can join that. We're usually very active. There's also that Telegram chat. I'll just put it here, Jason, for you. I don't know if I have access to the live one, but sorry, that's the documentation, I think. But also there was that group, like if you have the if you have your fund set up, you can join this exclusive Telegram channel too, and typically you get more attention there because it's a much smaller group.
Okay. So one question, okay, from the audience, okay, can any ERC20 token be added to the fund?
Yeah, any ERC20 token, in theory, can be added easily, but the challenge is that we use a decentralized price feed. So before adding tokens, we need to verify that there's a reliable on-chain price source that we vet. We currently use Kyber Network as our price oracle, but we're basically also exploring Uniswap v2 as a price source, and some other like solutions like Chainlink. So basically, like every release from now on, we'll be adding a lot more assets, including Ren, because I think Ren is already available, but people have been asking about Ren BTC and Ren other assets, and so yeah, we're definitely going to work on figuring that out.
So you mentioned earlier that once a fund, okay, gets created, you can't change the rules. One of the audience, okay, listening in right now, can a fund manager edit the fund after a couple of months? If yes, what are the things that they can edit? And if the fund fails or for whatever reason, maybe it has already achieved its goal, can they close the fund?
Yeah. So manager can close a fund anytime. And the idea is that it's also, a good thing for security reasons. Like if ever there was a risk or, somebody was nervous about the protocol, you can shut down the fund with just the click of a button. And that freezes everything except redemptions. That just means investors can only redeem. So yeah, it's very normal to have funds with a fixed life, 1 year, 2 year, because sometimes there's opportunities that only exist for a short time, like arbitrage opportunities. Then when you're the first one to figure out an arbitrage, then it's very profitable. But when everyone is doing it, it stops being profitable. So then there's no point to continue your fund at that point.
Question from Simon. Are there available APIs for Melon for trading?
Yes. What I mean, do you mean like algos, or do you mean like kind of plug-in bots that we've already built that you can use?
I think Simon would need to clarify. We'll take another question for now.
Maybe Simon, you can ping me separately, and yeah, that we do have APIs. I'm just not sure if they're what you're looking for, so maybe we can discuss that offline.
We have Tan. Tan asked the question: since there is no KYC requirement, what are the safeguards against rogue managers? Or at the moment, okay, is that not what you guys are looking at?
This is my dream question. Thank you for this question. It's a great, great question. The whole point of our protocol is that it helps establish trust between the investor and the manager without needing to know your counterparty. If you think about why are the costs for traditional management so high in the traditional world, it's because you need to hire all these people, accountant, auditor, fund administrator, operational. All they do is they ensure that your accounting is accurate so that the investors have accurate accounting and that you're not making it up. They ensure that if you say you're going to invest in US equities, that you are investing in US equities and not Venezuelan bonds or private yachts or something. So in the traditional world, you hire people to enforce that manager is behaving as he should. In our case, we are doing that via code. And so in my mind, I would still like to know the manager I'm investing in a perfect world, but we don't enforce it. I can still get comfortable investing in a manager who I don't know if they have provable track record, and if they have a rule set which I'm comfortable with, and a fee set, because the protocol will enforce, the blockchain technology will enforce the rules in the smart contract. So I hope that makes sense.
I think that's a really, really great answer. Okay, I am also really excited, and I think that that's basically why we are in the decentralized space, is basically to continuously create products that can show how we can trust one another without actually, by cutting all the intermediaries and the inefficient processes. There's a question from one user. I think that this one, a lot of people are asking, and I'm basically selecting this question out of the many, that you mentioned, okay, that you have all these documentation where people can read, okay, but there's two things that people, I think that that are high in demand. One is that, are there any video guides where they can actually watch and guide them step by step? That's one. And the second one, are there any programs that Melon Protocol have to help the traditional fund manager to use Melon Protocol?
So in terms of video, if you go to this Introducing the Melon Protocol blog, at the bottom, there's actually a video. And this is, or there should be, yeah, it's still there. And this is a good place to start. So it's like everything is written, and then there's a video that kind of demonstrates it. I would also say that anyone who is trying to move or set up a fund or move from traditional to crypto, we're very happy to help you. So we don't have a program yet, although we're launching something towards the end of this year. But I'm working with 6 to 12 managers who are pretty serious managers. All of them had small funds previously that were not decentralized. They were managed in a very traditional way. And they got fed up with, they were small funds, they were like maybe, small funds as far as finance goes, like, $500,000 to 1.5 million range. and they got fed up with paying all the fees, which is just eating into their, basically they were paying more fees than the money they were making. And so these are exactly the kind of people we want to help and we want to empower. And so we're very happy to help them, on board, figure out what they need to do, what we need to do to get to their strategy on Melon. And so we're working very closely with many parties to try and make this happen.
Dandy asks, will the investor be notified if there are any changes in the rules? But is that even possible to change the rules?
Yeah, Dandy, that's a really good question. So at the moment, you cannot change the rules once you have deployed the fund. Only rules you can change are, no, actually you cannot change any rules. However, one feature request we got was upgradable funds. And so this is on our roadmap. And the idea is that at the moment, if we do a protocol upgrade, you have to shut down your fund and then set up a new fund. So everyone has to redeem and invest. And that's it's user unfriendly, right? So we will be having upgradable funds later this year, but we're still working on that right now. But to Dandy's question, the promise is that a manager should never have to enforce anything on the investors. So if he does opt into changing the rules, and probably the rules will never be changeable, but at least the protocol version will be upgradable, so that if so like I think of the protocol as two parts. Like there's the core, which it's like the core is just the it doesn't really affect the investor, but it's really about just the very basic functionality of. And then there's the rule set. So the rule sets are like the core is like the features, the capability, the integrations, etc. And the feature the rule sets are like really designed to protect the investor. So the rule sets we believe should never be changeable, even when we have upgradable funds. And but we believe at a core level the protocol should be upgradable, because like for example, if we one day deploy something that we discover later has a bug in it, we should be able to upgrade the core, to fix that bug without all the funds having to shut down and reopen again. So that's kind of how we're thinking about it. So like anything that disadvantages the investor should not be changeable, but anything that is unrelated to the investor should be upgradable in future. So that's kind of vision, the vision.
So Bona, we have a question from Sarah. I think that she really, really wants to get this answer, because I know that this is the second time she's asking this question. So she asked the question, will there be more assets like international stocks wrap tokens for users to submit ERC20 tokens to pick such assets? Is it possible?
Yeah, so we have wrapped Bitcoin already, actually, and the protocol, and we're going to be adding more wrapped tokens. We're also, we've been told by our community that we should look at REN protocol as well. And we're looking at interoperability on our roadmap, but a bit later on, like it's not the top priority. So
what about international stocks?
Yeah, so 100% our goal is to increase the asset universe. That's like the pretty much #1 request we get from people. International stocks, I have not seen them. I don't know, Sarah, maybe you know a protocol that's doing this already, but I have not seen them wrapped in ERC20 form yet. But what we are seeing is protocols like UMA protocol and maybe synthetics, although I don't think either of them have done it yet, providing frameworks to create synthetic products that track stocks. And once we have that, we can integrate those, and we plan to.
We have one question from Tan. Okay, total asset under management in the Melon Terminal. There's a number 2437, while the monitor website shows 2435. Do you know why there will be differences like that?
Yeah, it's just I think they capture the time. Like I think they freeze I'm not describing this well, but basically there's a time lag to the monitoring tool. It has a bit of a time lag to so tomorrow's number on the monitoring tool will be the same one as today on the terminal. Because the most up-to-date one is always on the terminal.
I think that's all the questions. Is there any more questions from YouTube? Is there any more questions from Facebook? Because everybody else is just like really excited to get started and probably read the documentation and join your Telegram group. Everything else here seems to be about just, yeah, they want to set up their fund. They
That's
want
all.
to set up their fund.
And just maybe one
Um,
last thing I want to say is we will be hosting pretty cool trading competitions like later this year. So to be announced soon. But the goal is like we really want to use them to discover the next talent, like the kind of next young undiscovered talent. And we want them to be small, medium-sized manager to prove a point. Like actually what we really want to prove is that small to medium-sized managers can perform better than the Fidelities and Goldman Sachs's of the world.
Let's have a look at this one. Okay. This is shared by Uma Project. Uma Project.
Yeah, so Uma, but is that one live? Let's take a look at that. I'm speaking to Uma, and I didn't realize that this was. Yeah, so I think that that's exactly why we're keeping such a close eye on Uma, because they provide the framework to wrap or synthesize any kind of real world assets. But as far as I know, they haven't actually deployed to mainnet. I'm not even sure Uma is on mainnet yet, or if it is, they don't have many assets. But we're speaking to Hart, who's their founder, and we have like a Telegram chat with him, and we're definitely, as soon as they move, we're looking to integrate some of those more interesting assets. I saw that, Simon, it's not an announcement because it's on the roadmap, which is public. So actually, I really recommend you guys to read the roadmap. I saw a question earlier. Somebody was asking, what's the next?
Yes. Are you happy with where you are, guys, right now? And before that, so answer this question first, and then there's one more question that I think we skipped up over, which is also very important. But are you happy with where you guys are right now, and what are you most looking forward to next?
Am I happy with where we are right now? No. That's why we put forward a 3-year roadmap that we want to, we really want to improve. I think we're the best asset management protocol and the only asset management protocol in DeFi that can offer all of these features. So by far, I think that I'm happy in that sense, but I don't think we have reached our full potential yet. Like we have so many cool and exciting things we're going to do that we can do with this nice explosion in DeFi in the last year, bringing synthetic products, on-chain derivatives, upgradable funds, privacy, because some people have been asking, well, what if I don't want my portfolio to be public to everyone? Can I have my performance public, but maybe my portfolio holdings, obfuscated? Maybe also, interoperability, researching on interoperability, so bringing tokens from other chains using interesting protocols like REN, etc. So I think we've got loads of work ahead of us. I'm very excited about it, but I think that we're very close to being in a stable state where we can just add to that from now on. And I had a slide on this, like kind of what are the next priorities for Melon and future directions. So dramatically increasing the asset universe, which many of you already asked. Integrating other DeFi protocols. So aside from more DEXs, lending protocols, like we're currently working on integrating Compound and Chai and probably Flash loans after that. Market making pools, so making it possible to use your fund to invest in Uniswap pools or similar, or balancer pools even. Investing in derivatives products, etc. So that's just kind of a taster of some of the things we're thinking about, or thinking about, or actually implementing right now. And and basically we're working with a lot of users, and when they make feature requests to us that make sense, we also try to accommodate for that. But if you want the formal 3-year roadmap, I'll just stick the link in here as well, because it's actually a really cool roadmap. It's like full of really exciting things.
Can you share with us, okay, why do you call the protocol Melon?
Yeah, so basically, like, melon is the Greek word for future, and yeah, so when we first formed Melonport, it was supposed to be like the future of portfolios, or the future, the future of asset management. And I just thought it was a cool original name. It's really hard to find a name for a protocol. We wasted so much time, but I think it's good.
Okay, so I think that this is probably the last subtopic that somebody asked the question. Melon used to be a company, right? But now it operates as a DAO. Is that correct?
Melonport was the company that built Melon V1, and then it handed over to a DAO. Correct? Yeah.
So currently, can you tell us a little bit more about the DAO?
Yeah. So okay. So when you're designing governance and tokenomics, like the key thing is to think about all the stakeholders in the ecosystem. And we have 3 stakeholders. The first is the users. By the way, users often get ignored when people are designing governance and so users we put really high importance on. The second is maintainers and developers of the protocol, the future maintainers and developers. And the third is token holders, right? So we have these 3 users. The tokenomics, we touched on it earlier. It's a buy and burn model, which means that it directly links the usage of the protocol to value of the token. This is this looks after 2 of our stakeholders, the token holders, because the more users, the more the token holders benefit. And it also looks after maintainers and developers, because the better code they commit, the more users, the more the tokens are worth. But the stakeholder that's left ignored is the user. So the DAO is really supposed to be very user representative. So we sat there and we thought, so what do you need to do to represent the user? And ultimately we said, we don't want token holders voting on upgrades, because they don't have the skills to vote on a protocol upgrade. What we want is a technically skilled group of people that can serve the best interest of the users. So our DAO is, in order to join our DAO, you have to be technically skilled and technically qualified with a good knowledge and understanding of the Melon protocol. Or you have to be nominated by the users to represent the users. So we call it, it's a DAO which has an application process, and you have to meet those criteria before you can be eligible to join.
What are some of the criteria to join the DAO?
So
one example?
Like, yeah, so I mean, just sending an email to team@meloncouncil.io, sending your background, your CV, giving us some familiarity. How familiar are you with the Melon? Ideally, having shown some engagement with the community before. So, for example, we have past auditors. We have people who have audited the Melon protocol on the council. We have formal verification experts. We have the founders of other DEX protocols, and so on and so forth. So, like, and users, obviously, they just have to be proving that they're users and nominated by the users.
Okay. If there's no more questions, okay. I'd like to thank Mona for spending the last 1.5 hours with us to share with us about Melon Protocol, to run all these demos, to open up minds, as well as because you spend the time with us. I think that a lot of us have managed to, in a very short time, get the clarity of what Melon Protocol is, and a lot of people are now excited to give it a try. Now, before we actually conclude today's session, you have actually arranged something very special. You want to give away something. Can you share with the audience what is it that you want to give away?
Yeah, so we said that we thought it would be fun to organize a little 5-question quiz at the end of this. And what we'd like to do is give away 2 kind of $100 prizes in Melon tokens to the highest scores that come in terms of time orders. So
All right. Okay. So 2 winners, okay, get to win $100, okay, worth of Melon tokens. Okay. So everyone who's paying attention, this is going to be like really, really competitive. All right. So so get ready. Okay. I'm going to share the screen. Okay. It's going to happen like really, really quick. So get ready. Okay. Going to share screen right now for this. Where is it? Right. Is it this one? Nope. It's not this one. It's the other one. Share the screen for the Kahoot game. Got it. So we're going to play a Kahoot game. So for those of you who do not know what Kahoot is, basically, all right, go to kahoot.it if you want to participate in this game. Okay, you only got 1 minute right now to go to kahoot.it if you want to participate in this game. Key in, okay, this game pin so that you can be eligible to participate in this game. All right, and answer the quiz. So your 1 minute starts now. Go. Let's see. Where's the? Quick, 20 seconds. 10 seconds. 10 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right, that's it. Done. Okay, so you have to be quick. All right. Okay, so this quiz, okay, is going to have 5 questions. Multiple choice. Okay, only one correct answer. You need to answer it quick. There will be a hint that is given to you if you do not know the answer, but the person who can answer the fastest, okay, and get the most correct answers will basically get the highest score, and the top 2 will win. Okay, the top 2 winners will win $100 worth of Melon token. So are you ready? All right. Okay, get ready. The first question starts now. What is the name of the largest fund in asset under management on the Melon network? If you don't know the answer, you need to go to melon.avantgarde.finance to find out. Ten more seconds. All right, the answer is the Rhino Fund. The Rhino Fund is the largest fund by asset under management under the Melon network. Let's see. Okay, let's see who is number 1. Okay, number 1 is Man. Okay, second leading up is RNG. Okay, third is Chris Lean, followed by Sarah, and fifth is Rain. All right, going. Okay, are you ready for a second question? So the second question is, which is the best performing fund since Melon's protocol's inception? Is it Flash Boys 3.0? Is it Kinzik? Is it Crypto Sobo DeFi Protocol? Is it Z Fund? You got 40 seconds to find the answer. So the answer is Flash Boys. And 13 of you got it correct. Let's see who is the fastest. All right, Akmal is right now leading, followed by Man, okay, and Barry, Zam, and then Ika. Okay, let's go next. All right, get ready for the third question. It is, what is the smallest position held by Vision Fund 2.0? Is it Ren? Is it Wrapped ETH? Is it DAI or is it Link? Wow, this music very suspense. So you got 30 more seconds. What is the smallest position held by Vision Fund 2.0? This is so fun. You have 10 seconds. Wow, 12 of you got it correct. Okay, the answer is Link. Let's look at the scoreboard right now. Akmal comes in at first. Okay, he's still in the lead. Barry, Zam, you're almost there. You're just 22 points away. Man, Ika still can catch up. All right, are you ready for the fourth question? The fourth question is, what is the management and performance fee charged by Alchemy Fund? So anybody can start a fund, and when they create a fund, they can set their own management and performance fee. So what is the management and performance fee charged by Alchemy Fund? Twenty more seconds. All right, congratulations to 12 winners. Okay, you got the answer correct. 0.75% and 9.95%. Let's look at the scoreboard. Wow, Akmal is winning at the highest streak of 4. Okay, Man is catching up. Okay, Barry, Zam, don't give up. This is the final question. The final question, okay, to determine the winner. Remember the top two. I'm sorry, the third winner doesn't win anything. The top 2 will win $100 worth of Melon tokens. Okay, so that you can start your fund. So the fifth question, what is the third largest position held in aggregate by all Melon funds? Take your time. You need to answer this correctly. Akmal, you don't want to mess up this one. You're now right now number 1. Suspense near. 25 more seconds. Remember, this is the third largest position. Kyber Network. All right. So, are you guys ready? Excited? Let's see who the top 2 winners are. Akmal came in third. All right. So, congratulations, Barry. Okay, Man, Akmal. All right. Now, if this Man is Harpreet Man, who is my partner organizing this, you are disqualified. All right. Okay. So if you are Harpreet Man, you're disqualified. Okay. We're going to verify this after this. Okay. If not, congratulations, Barry Man. I'll let you know, Akmal, if you have won after this. All right. Okay. So with that, okay, thank you so much. Thank you so much. Okay, Mona, again, for your sharing with us, spending the day with us. I hope you guys had fun. You learned something new.
Congratulations, guys. Jason, make sure you send me their
Let
contact
me
details.
share the. Let me now share what's going to happen tomorrow. So, oops. So this is not correct. Wait, let me go back. So tomorrow we are going to be covering we're going to be changing gears again. So on the first day, we covered Maker, the financial primitive that gives us a price stable cryptocurrency so that we can create all different kinds of financial DeFi products. Thanks to Maker. Then we have Kyber that solves the liquidity problem with dealing with so many tokens. And then now we have Melon Protocol that has shown us that anyone can create a fund. Tomorrow, Aave is going to shift gears and challenge the whatever that we have learned in the last 3 days, because Aave has a platform where you are able to get a flash loan without needing collateral. So if you want to know how it actually works, it's actually quite brilliant. So do come back here at 3 p.m. tomorrow. Don't miss Aave's. And then we're going to cap it off on Friday with Wrap Bitcoin. Really excited for what we have still to go. If you are keen to like fast track your DeFi, like you can't wait, there are some resources where you can actually get right now. One of them is CoinGecko's How to DeFi book. It's a book of 212 pages where it covers everything step by step on how you can actually use DeFi products. It's running right now at only 15. You can buy this now at $15 by scanning the QR code here. If you are serious about taking it further, becoming an expert in decentralized finance, there's a certified course available on Ivan on Tech Academy, which you can enroll right now for as low as $22 a month only when paid annually. Scan the QR code here as well. If you are someone who is a complete beginner to cryptocurrencies and you need a fully guided experience where you want to learn your strong fundamentals of why crypto even has value in the first place, and how do you manage all these wallets, what are the security best security practices so that you can confidently navigate and manage all these crypto assets. This one-day session is for you. It's happening on 13th of June. It's a one-day session completely online, divided into 4 sessions, and right now selling at $199. You can get this at 50% off throughout Southeast Asia DeFi Week. Scan the QR code to get this discounted rate. Last but not least, we also have we do this weekly. Is a What is Bitcoin, Bitcoin for Beginners webinar tonight. So if you want to learn how everything started with Bitcoin, 9 p.m. tonight, register on Eventbrite. So Thank you very much. Okay, again, to our sponsors, okay, to our event partners for making a Southeast Asia DeFi week. This is how you're going to claim, okay, your unique proof of attendance token for today. Fill in the feedback form. Oh, wait. Sorry. Chop. Going back. I need to give the correct. I need to give the correct. That one was for the Kyber form. All right. Just sorry for the technical hiccup here. Oh dear. Okay. Anyways, I'm going to share this, okay, to you guys in a bit. Let me sort it out. My computer just hanged. I'm not even sure whether am I still broadcasting right now. Mona, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here. Can you hear me?
I think Jason lagged for a bit. He'll be joining in a few seconds.
Hello. Hi. So sorry. So sorry for the my computer just hanged on me. Right. So this is the instructions, okay, how you can claim, okay, your proof of attendance token for day number 3. Okay. Again, I'd like to thank Mona, okay, for spending the day with us. Thank you very much for tuning in, okay, spending your 2 hours with us, learning something new in DeFi, and I'll see you again tomorrow. Okay. Same time here.
Away from the fears I know, 'cause I've been scared of ever taking chances. I've been scared of finding the love. I'm so used to putting up the fences, but I'm blind. This time I won't be holding back. This time I won't be taking back. I'm making a better start, giving you all my heart. This time I love you just like that. Hands out, I'm waiting for you to hold. No doubt, I'm just scared of ever taking chances. I just scared of falling into love. I'm so used to putting up the fences, but I'm done. This time I won't be holding back. This time I won't be taking that. I'm making a better start, giving you all my heart. This time I love you just like that. Feet first, I'm jumping into you. Head turned away from the fears I knew. Cause I've been scared of ever taking chances. I've been scared of falling into love. I'm so used to putting up the fences, but I'm done. This time I won't be holding back. This time I won't be taking that. I'm making a better start, giving you all my heart. This time I love you just like that. Hands out, I'm waiting for you